Hi guys, and today in the review the Spinnaker Fleuss. Let's go! Hello and good afternoon everyone, Konstantin aka Mr. B back with a review of the Spinnaker Fleuss. Guys, transparency. Spinnaker did get in touch with me. They wanted to send me a watch for free for a review. I did agree, but just under the condition that I can tell my honest opinion about this piece, and I will do so. So guys, let's change the perspective and get into the review of the Spinnaker. Alright guys, I would say first let's get the technical data and specification out of the way. We do have a nice navy blue, rough, grainy dial, so to say. The datum complication is black, as well as the bezel. You do have superluminova on the bezel and on the dial. On top of the dial you find an anti-reflected coated sapphire crystal. The crystal on the bezel is an acrylic one, screw-in crown, screw-down case. Inside of the watch ticks the NH35, so this means you do have hacking, seconds, and manual windable movement. Quick set for the date, of course. Diameter, as mentioned, 43 millimeters. Height 12 millimeters, very car friendly, so to say. Water resistance is 150 meters, and the lug width is 22 millimeters. So overall, I would say a strap queen. Design-wise, I really do like this watch. I would have preferred though a blue date and as well a blue bezel, which would combine much better from my point of view with the blue dial. Anyhow, also this version I do like a lot, as well I do like the case. If you see here, you do have polished chamfers and a brushed case, very well brushed from my point of view. Looks good. I like how the lugs do taper down a little bit, so 43 millimeter do sound big, but I think it's also wearable due to this for smaller wrists, and I really enjoy this. It feels very comfortable on the wrist, by the way. As well, I do like the middle links, how they actually let them come a little bit more out. It's like a 3D look to this. Also how the strap or the bracelet fit into the lugs or between the lugs. Overall, I would say a very beautiful and interesting design. Not the 0815 standard Submariner clone. Yeah, it does have design clues from the Black Pane 50 Fathoms. For me, it's refreshing, different, and a nice new interpretation of this watch. Yeah, let's talk about the bezel a little bit. I think it is not as grippy. It's very flat, which is, I think, in terms of wear comfortably, perfectly nice. It fits perfectly under every cuff. But if you like to rotate it, it's a little bit more difficult. From the sides, less. From the top to the bottom less, but from the sides you can really turn it great. I compare the bezel action from the Spinnaker with the bezel action of the Orient Marco or Orient Ray. Satisfying clicks, actually, doesn't sound bad at all. The alignment is let's do it again. The alignment is good. Just give me a second. Yes. So aligning at 12 o'clock position. There we go. Is alright, and if you align it at 12 o'clock, no backplay. But yeah, due to the not so grippy bezel, it's a little bit harder to turn. This is from the design point of view. I think it is nice. The action is okay. It's on the Orient or also Seiko entry level. Not a bad feeling, not at all. But I wished it would be a little bit higher and a little bit more grippy. Guys, let's talk a little bit about the bracelet. I do really like this 3D effect, and it's a very smooth, comfortable bracelet. If you can see this here, you will not pull any hairs. It's very comfortable, air can get through as well, very good. And overall it fits, I think, pretty good. You do have in the clasp, of course, a diver extension. You do have 3 fine adjustment possibilities. I think sizing the bracelet isn't a big deal, even though I wish they would have used screws, but this is a typical pin and collar system. It's alright, I cannot complain about this for this price point, as also Seiko or Takoya for the Aquaracer do use the pin system. Sorry for the noise, guys, I had to open the window and yeah, it's pretty hot in Germany again, but yeah, sorry for the background noises there. I hope you can forgive this. Yeah, back to the bracelet, it's a very comfortable one, it will not pull hairs, the clasp is very good, you do have here a very good locking clasp, security lock, and overall it's a nice, well-made bracelet. It's very comfortable. Just the sizing for me, personally for myself, is something I wished they would have considered screws. Anyways, also the pin and collar you can size more or less easy. Alright guys, let's discuss what I do like about the Spinnaker Fleuss. On the one hand, I really do like this sort of Blancpain 50 fathoms design. It's personal taste, I do like it a lot. As well that you do have a sapphire crystal, anti-reflective coated sapphire crystal. For this price point, for the bracelet version, you pay about $350. For the strap version, $285, which is alright from my point of view. As well, you do have the NH35, so you can manual wind this piece. You have the quick set, you have the hacking seconds, so you can really adjust great the time. I like the design overall. I like how the bracelet feels. All feels for this price point very solid. You have to consider though the tax when you do receive this, when you purchase it online, you have to do import tax, and this could be a problem, but to this point I come later on in the review. So overall I do like the design, I do like how this watch feels on the wrist, how it wears. It's very flat. I like the feature, and yeah, its overall design as mentioned before. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about the things I dislike of the Spinnaker Fleuss. And the first thing you can make fun of me again as usual are the 150 meter water resistance. Yeah, it's okay. It's decent enough. You don't need more for an everyday carry watch. Yeah, I got it, but it is a dive watch. And a dive watch for me starts with 200 meters. That's it, no discussion. This is my point of view. And I don't understand it, because if you are able to keep 150 meters, it's just a tiny thing to get to 200 meters. I don't ask for much, but this seems to be a Spinnaker thing, because I saw on their website there are a couple of divers, vintage divers, which do have not more than 150 meters. Just a few with 300 or 200 meters water resistant, the majority 150 meters. I just don't get it. Point number two is the acrylic inlay for the bezel. Yeah, the sapphire crystal I would have preferred on the bezel. You do have on the dial the sapphire crystal, why not on the bezel? Yeah, I think it's a cost point. Maybe a little bit more difficult to do, but yeah, no, you have got a vintage watch and you got like scratches in the bezel and not on the crystal. I don't know, I just think I would have preferred sapphire crystal. The pin and collars bracelet, okay. For this price point, this personal preference, I would have preferred definitely a bracelet with screws so that you can shorten it a little bit easier. At least I don't like the pin and collar system. Another topic which I have to point out is of course the price. The price point is $285 USD for the strap version, $350 USD for the bracelet version, which I do have here, and it's a fair price, but you have to do additional import tax, to put additional import tax on it. In Germany it's 90%, and if you put this on top of the watch, it really becomes expensive. You get a lot, but there is so much competition for this piece. You do have Orient, you do have Seiko, you do have Mark & Sons, so many different micro brands or old settled brands which offer for this price point really great alternatives, even though with ETF movement. Let's talk about Steiner, for example. So I think from this point of view, if you are looking for a diver with a vintage design, Blancpain-ish, yeah, you are fine and you get great quality, but for a high price or higher price, and you can get in this price point just really great alternative watches. So I can understand Spinnaker that they have to earn the money, but there is a competition, and the competition is tough. So if you're not specifically looking for this sort of design, then maybe you can get cheaper, a similar watch with similar features. So what are my overall thoughts about the Spinnaker? I do like the design, especially if you are on the market for a blanc paniche design. It's a beautiful piece. I like the design. I like how it felt in my hands and on the wrist. I like the finish, and I like the movement. So overall, it's a fair watch, so to say. The price point is high if you do include the import tax, so this is definitely an issue, and I think this could be sometimes a problem for Spinnaker because the competition there is very high and very tough. Anyways, if you're on the market for a slight different watch that nobody else has, this is really a great alternative. And again, quality wise, I didn't have an issue. Alignment was perfect, bezel action was pretty good. There are alternatives, of course, but overall I think you cannot do much wrong with this piece, and there are even more pricey alternatives which offer far less. Alright guys, this concludes the review of the Spinnaker Fleuss, and I hope you did like this one. What is your opinion about this watch? Share this in the comment section below, guys. I wish all of you now a very beautiful Sunday afternoon, a good start into the new week. Look forward to see you in the next video. Say goodbye and auf Wiedersehen. Euer Konstantin. Ciao guys, take care.